Fifth graders, this is Miss Adams speaking to you. I know it's just a cartoon, but this is really me. For your guest teacher today, the expectations for your volume are that you are going to be at a 1 whisper and only with your table buddies today. If you are disruptive with your talking during class time, you will be filling out a restorative reflection today. Period. End of sentence. This is the expectation today. You need to be working more than you are talking. Please make sure you are following this direction so that you don't have to fill out a restorative reflection, and be sure you are being respectful to your guest teacher today. Fifth graders, we are going to review colored pencil safety today. For our projects we're working on, we are probably using our Jollies. I've noticed this one actually does not belong in here because it says aqua and has a paintbrush on it. You should not be using those. If you find those, please give them to the teacher. Before we are going to do any of our project with our colored pencils, we need to review because I have been seeing the wrong behaviors with the colored pencils. So first and foremost, these colored pencils are not drumsticks, okay? So we should not be tapping colored pencils on tables. We should be keeping them still and just using them for coloring. When it comes to sharpening them, you should have your table's cup and you should have a pencil sharpener. These do not go in the electric pencil sharpener because the wax hurts the pencil sharpener, and the pencil sharpener itself is too aggravating on the actual color pencil, so it is not safe for the color pencil or the pencil sharpener. So these pencils are sometimes a little bit stubborn in these pencil sharpeners, so sometimes you just have to shove them in a little harder than you'd think. Okay, do not sharpen them until they are really, really pointy. They should not be able to hurt you when you touch them. You should just be sharpening them enough until you can use them again. Okay, that will keep the pencil sharpener from breaking. It will also keep the lead tip from falling out all the time. I know that has happened to you before. Okay, if we see you doing the wrong things with the color pencils, you will then be downgraded to the practice color pencils, and you will not get as nice of colors out of those pencils. So please make sure you are following directions. As long as you're keeping it over the cup, okay, then you won't have as much mess to clean up, and then you can take them to the garbage can. So please make sure you are using the color pencils safely and sharpening them cleanly. If you have not already done so, we are going to start adding our brick coloring in. So you're gonna use probably a red, possibly your brown. I like the darker red, but you could also use the lighter red and the brown and be mixing them. Okay, so there are our 3 colors that we could be using. We've got, oh, where's my German words? Mittelbraun, Kirschrot, and Karmenrot. Okay, so those are like a regular red and then a blood red color. When you are coloring your bricks in, I want you to leave a gap before your pencil line, and that's gonna kind of look like the grout that holds the bricks together. So if you kind of trace it lightly around your pencil mark so that you have space. And then I want you to do a very similar thing to what you were doing with your letters, is that on one end, okay, using that swirling type of coloring, I want you to press a little harder, and then as you get farther away, press a little bit lighter. Okay, to avoid that streakiness, when you go over a layer, I want you to go over the entire layer lightly. That's going to help blend out that streak. So if, for example, I just colored a really heavy spot here and I just pushed a little bit lighter here, I'm going to have this line looking thing. The way you want to do it is you want to do that swirling color and use a medium or light pressure and go over both the top, the hard layer, and the light layer. Okay, and as you get further away, press a little bit softer and go over the harder layer and the lighter layer, and that's going to help blend your color so that you don't have such streaky values in there. Okay, I do want you to make sure that you're coloring all the way up to your red line. You don't want to color all the way up to your pencil line though, so that you can keep your grout line there. And that's going to have that faded depth type coloring on there to make your bricks look more realistic. Okay, that same coloring idea, if you're still working on your actual letters, it's the same thing. So when you're pressing hard and you press lightly, make sure that you do that lighter layer over both the hard layer and the lighter layer, and it's going to help your colors blend together more smoothly. So in that time-lapse video, you just saw me go from just having the one darker red, that was the Carmine wrote, layering over the rest of the bricks. After I did that, I took the middle brown and I went over the corners where I laid the darker values, okay, and I shaded over a little bit of it with the brown. And then you saw me actually go over the entire rest of the brick with the Kirschrote, which is like the regular real red. And it starts to blend them together. A lot of times I see the students going and saying, oh, well, the white spots are filled in, so I'm done. Okay, but as you saw, I went over the whole space, and then I went over the space again, and then I went over the space again. So it's not just about filling in your white spots, it's about adding the details that's going to help you make it really pop out. So you should not be finished with the bricks at the end of class today. I want you to just keep thinking, how can I layer my colors? How can I make my colors look more realistic? So think about not just filling your white spots, but by making your bricks look really real.